Hi guys, I'm Ivory and welcome to my channel. So today I am going to be doing a full face of Maybelline products. Maybelline is personally my favorite makeup brand. I have purchased them for years and every year they come up with new launches and I try them all and I fall in love. So it only made sense to do a full face because out of all of my makeup products, I would say that Maybelline is in almost every single one of those categories, like eyeshadow, blush, lipstick. There's a Maybelline product in almost every single one of my makeup products. And with all of the products, this is the look that I was able to create today. Before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every single week. And also be sure to follow me on my social media. Everything is _ivorycherry. Let's get started. So today I'm going to start off with my brows. I am using the Maybelline Brow Define and Fill Duo in the shade Deep Brown. This is my first time using this product. So one side is like a very skinny pencil and on the other side is a sponge. So just swatching this real quick. This is the pencil side and on the sponge side, this is what it looks like. So pencil side, sponge side. So it obviously is more diffused and smoked out with the sponge side and then this one is more concentrated. The sponge side also kind of springs. Not really sure if it's a needed feature, but it is a fun feature. By the way, I'm really sorry if my hair is extra frizzy. I just washed it maybe an hour ago. So it is quite fresh. So like especially this side right here, my baby hairs, they're extra frizzy because I haven't put product in it yet. So right off the bat, this is really nice. I think this is a pretty good color for me, I would say. I'm very lightly pressing this and a lot of pigment is coming off, which I really like. They said to use this sponge side to really fill in where you have a lot of hairs. But honestly, I like using it in the front. That's where it's really sparse. And sometimes when I use a pencil, it can look a little too blocky. But since this is more of a faded version of the actual pencil tip, it kind of creates a shadow. And so it makes them less blocky. The one thing I do miss though is a spoolie. I do have a separate spoolie. You can get these for $1 from e.l.f. I see them all the time in drugstores. So with every brow product that I use, a spoolie is an essential for me. So I do miss having that at the end of all my pencils, but not having a spoolie isn't a deal breaker for me. It's more of a nice to have. I'm gonna carve out my brows using the Maybelline. I don't know why I keep saying Maybelline, like this is a full face of Maybelline, but it's from the Superstay collection. This is the Better Skin Concealer. This is in the shade Light. I usually get light medium, but when I compared the concealer to my foundation, the light medium was actually darker than my foundation. So I had to go with light. I know they have other concealers that are older, like they come in lipstick form because they're cream. I don't know, they just look so dated, like very 2000 and late, so I don't bother with them. But every single concealer from Maybelline, I would say for the most part, I like them. This is my first time trying this concealer from them, but out of all of the other liquid concealers, I would say my favorite is the Master Conceal. I'm also going to use this concealer to prime my eyes. Now that my eyes are primed, I'm gonna move on to eyeshadow. I'm first going in with the matte bar. Just like in the name, all of the shadows are actually matte. This is my first time using this. I'm gonna first go into this cranberry shade. I have used Maybelline eyeshadows before. I've used one of their City Mini palettes. I also had a couple of their cream eyeshadows and I really like those as well. I'm next gonna go into this salmon color. I think it's salmon. We're gonna call it salmon. I'm just gonna blow out this cranberry color. I'm gonna be doing a halo eye today simply because I'm not very good at halo eyes. I'm very confused as to how the shape should be because there's many different variations of it and I don't know what best suits my eye, but it is something I want to get better at. And you know, less than a year ago, I was very bad at colorful eye looks and I never wanted to attempt them. And here we are now. I'm gonna go back in with the concealer and I'm only gonna add concealer to the center of my eye. It's not gonna carve out my lid completely. Okay, so on the lid, I'm going in with the City Mini palette. This is the Downtown Sunrise one. Like I've said before, I had this, but I had the Rooftop Bronzes one. I must admit, I really love these shadows. They're really good quality. I'm gonna go into this corally one and it has a little bit of gold into it as well. And I'm gonna apply that on the outer edges of where I added the concealer. But like I was saying before, I love the City Mini palettes, or at least the one I had before, and I like this one too. My only thing is I feel like they're never really complete. Like you can make a look with this for sure, but you are kind of stuck with the type of look that you'll make, and I'm not the type of person who does the same look every single day. So as much as I love the quality of the City Mini palettes, I always feel like I need to go with another palette, which is why I bought the matte bar. Maybelline, if you ever watch this, I'm ready for this in like a Morphe palette. And I'm also gonna dip into the shade. It's white, but it has a hint of champagne color in it. And that's gonna be right in the center of my lid. Okay, and then lastly, I'm gonna go into this, it's like a lavender shade, but I do see a little bit of gold running through it. I think it's a duo shift. I'm gonna apply that to my brow bone. Okay, and minus the lashes and the mascara, this is going to be the tops of the eyes. I actually really like these eyeshadows. If I had to pick one, I would say the City Mini palette. I could never just live with only mattes. We're going to move on to the base now. For a primer, I'm using the Master Prime. This is the Blur and Pore Minimize one. I think it's a pretty great dupe for the Smashbox Photo Finish one. It has that same silicone-y feel. For foundation, I am going in with my Maybelline Superstay in the shade Natural Beige. I've said this before, but I do not repurchase makeup products very often, but this is one of the foundations that I actually did repurchase, which says a lot. For anyone new to my channel, I have both oily and acne prone skin. This is a really good coverage. It keeps my oils at bay for a really long time. So if you're looking for a good drugstore foundation, I would start here. So this is what it looks like after one layer. As you can see, the coverage is really great. It's more of a satin matte finish, so it's not completely shine free. And then I'm gonna go back into the Better Skin Concealer. I'm gonna apply that to my under eyes, a little bit on my forehead and the bridge of my nose, as well as my chin. Okay, so everything is blended out. On a first impression alone, it's okay. I think I still prefer the Master Conceal. This dried down a little bit too quickly, so blending it was a little bit harder than I'm used to. But also in terms of coverage, it's okay. It's okay. To set my entire face, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder in the color Light Medium. I have used this before. I love this powder. I really wish they made a translucent version of that. The Light Medium is a little bit too light for me, and the medium is way too dark for me. And granted, it's been about a year since I tried this powder, but I feel like it lightened up my foundation, and I didn't like that because, you know, it's kind of annoying to finally get your foundation shade and then you set your face and then all of a sudden your face is a lot lighter than your neck. But it's been over a year, so hopefully this will jog my memory. But in terms of the powder itself, it actually is really, really nice. So while this is setting, I'm going to add some dimension back into my face. I got the Maybelline Master Contour. This has a matte bronzer, a blush, as well as a highlighter. And this is the medium to deep one. They have a light to medium one as well. I've actually been wanting to buy this one because I'm coming back to California. My husband has a conference there and his flight is paid for, so we would only have to pay for my flight. So we figured it'd be like a mini vacation. So I'll be in the San Francisco area. But one of the things we wanted to do is to go to the Golden Gate Bridge. And I believe my husband wants to go to the forest that is next to the Golden Gate Bridge. He said something about Planet of the Apes. I don't know if he just wants to go to the spot where they filmed Planet of the Apes or if he wants to reenact the scenes that were in San Francisco from Planet of the Apes. But then I guess that raises some questions because I assume one of us would be Caesar, most likely me because I'm shorter and I'm more chimp-like, and also my Chinese zodiac is a monkey, so pretty fitting. But then that just makes me wonder what Steve would be. Is he James Franco or is he the evil monkey? What's his name? Koba? Just a lot of unanswered questions here. Okay, so the bronzer, I went a little heavy on that, so that's kind of my bad. But if you're not babbling like me, it's actually a pretty good shade. I'm next applying the blush. This looks a lot like Luminoso, like it has the same type of sheen and it's like a corally peachy color, and they both have that golden kind of glittery undertone to them. I'm gonna go back into the setting powder and just carve out my cheekbones, and then while this is setting, I'm gonna move back to my lower lash line. I just realized that the names are on the back of the palette. Minor oversight, I'm sorry. So the shade is called Empire. I actually really like when palettes have names because then I don't spend eternity overthinking how to describe the shade. It's just easier to call it by a name. I'm going pretty low because this is a really light pink, and I think with colors like this you can go low and it's not going to be scary. And then with an eyeliner brush, I'm going to go into the shade Flat Iron. I just want to use more colors from this palette, and I'm tightlining my lower lash line. And then with a pencil brush, I'm going to go back into this lavender shade, and I'm going to add that into my inner corner. While we're here, let's dust off the bake. Do you see, as much as I dust it off, that line is really sharp? So now I have to go in with a face powder. I'm going in with my Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder, and I'm gonna add some color back into my face. To set my brows, I'm using the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. This is in the color Deep Brown. I've been using this for a year and I still feel like there's product in it. I don't know how that's possible because I use this all the time. I actually really like this brow gel. They stay in place and they kind of give it like a fluff that is very trendy right now. Okay, so next off we have mascara. I am using the Colossal Big Shot waterproof mascara. The wand isn't super big and it has those synthetic fibers versus a plastic wand. I actually really like this mascara. It's a good lengthening mascara, and if you have the problem where your mascara smudges on your lower lash line, you will not have that problem with this mascara. Granted, this is the waterproof one and not the regular. And one thing I wanted to discuss, and if someone could clarify, I would really appreciate that. I think this is in the color Blackest Black, but I don't fully understand the ranking because there's black, there's Blackest Black, there's very black, and then I think there's Black Noir. So like, Maybelline, if you're watching, could you please explain the hierarchy of the blacks, because I'm very confused. And every single time I get a different black, and I'm gonna be honest, maybe my vision isn't that great or something, but I can't tell the difference. So if anyone has any insight, let a sister know. Okay, so I do want to use the highlight from this palette just to see what it's all about. First of all, this palette, it's nice, but it's very powdery. You'll get quite a bit of kick up from it. Oh, that's kind of nice. But some nice skin texture. Really want to enhance it for you all to see. That highlight is actually pretty nice. But you know what? I kind of just want to mix it up. So I'm also going to go on top with the lavender eyeshadow just because I added it on my nose, and maybe just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, next for lips, I am going in with the Maybelline, I think these are the Color Sensational, yes, Color Sensational lipsticks. This is in the color Mauve. I love Maybelline lipsticks. They are super creamy. You only need one swipe. And overall, I would say I'm a big fan of Maybelline lip in general. I like the Maybelline Superstay liquid lipsticks. I like their vivid lip glosses. The only issue I have with this lipstick is it sticks to my teeth like a moth to a flame. And it is just the lipsticks, and particularly this brand of lipstick, because I've had other lipsticks that don't stick to my teeth nearly as much as this one. Sorry, I'm like talking weird because I know it's gonna happen. One of the reasons why I never use them on my channel is because I cannot tell you how many times I've used a Maybelline lipstick and then filmed my intro and my outro only to see there's lipstick in my teeth. So as creamy and buttery and pigmented as they are, if lipstick sticks to your teeth, this will stick to your teeth. And lastly, I'm going to set everything using the Master Fix. I think this is just the original one. And this is the final look, guys. I think I was pretty vocal about the things that I really like. So let me just go over the things that were not a huge hit or that I have just used for the first time in front of you guys. The brow pencil, I actually really like this. I think it's a good shade. It was very pigmented, very easy to work with. As far as the spongy side, it was nice, not totally necessary for me. If I got to choose between the sponge and a spoolie, I think I would still use a spoolie. The eyeshadow palettes, this one I've never used, and the City Mini palettes I am familiar with, but this is the first time I've used this particular one. Both are really great, but like I said before, if I had to choose, the City Mini palettes they're just really wonderful. The concealer, it's not my favorite. I think the Master Conceal is a little bit better than this one in terms of both blendability and coverage. And granted, I have not worn worn this for a very long time, but I don't know, I'm indifferent about it. The contour, blush, and highlight, it's a little bit powdery and there's quite a bit of kick up, but this actually worked out really nicely. I think it looks good. And considering I am traveling, I think this is really nice to have all three in one container. And the last thing that was new was the setting spray. Yeah, it's too early to tell because I just applied it. Not loving it, not hating it. It's kind of like in the same boat as the concealer. It's not going to be front and center in my vanity, but at the same time, I will eventually use this again. And that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like this video and feel free to comment down below what other types of videos you'd like to see from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.